Our last topic for Chapter 2 deals with energy. Energy is important for organisms because we need it to fuel all of our life processes. Energy is just the ability to either do work or move or change matter. And there's different kinds of energy out there. Some common ones include thermal energy, okay, gives off heat, chemical energy, and of course, light energy. A chemical reaction is any kind of reaction that absorbs or releases energy. And there's chemical reactions that are occurring all the time in your body. One of the byproducts of these is the release of heat. Okay, helps power, or when your muscles contract, there's chemical reactions going on there, causes you to heat up. Your body has to get rid of that extra heat in order for it to maintain homeostasis. In order for these chemical reactions to occur, you need energy to get them started. The energy that is needed to begin or start a chemical reaction is referred to as the activation energy. And the activation energy is represented by that little dotted or dashed line that goes across the graph there. And your body is constantly, there's energy there, we're fine, nothing's happening until there's enough energy that's needed in order for the chemical reaction to take place. Once we hit that activation energy, the chemical reaction occurs, tears out, and then we lose some of that energy. Okay? Now, in order for your body to be more efficient, we use enzymes. Enzymes are a special kind of protein that are referred to as biological catalysts, and they actually allow these chemical reactions that are occurring in your body to occur with less energy. Okay? They lower the activation energy, so they take this amount of energy that's needed, okay, lower it, so the chemical reaction can actually occur sooner. And not as much energy is needed thanks to these special proteins called enzymes. So these enzymes are located all throughout your body, and they're specific to one type of substance. Okay? The substance that they target is called a substrate. For example, the enzyme lactase targets the substrate lactose. We talked about lactose before a little bit briefly, just in the fact that it is a carbohydrate. Okay, as you can see there, it ends in OSE. Okay, lactase, however, ends in ASE. Lactose, lactase. Okay, and most enzymes do end in ASE. Okay, that's one way you can kind of identify it. So it makes sense that the enzyme lactase is going to act on the substrate lactose, break it down into glucose. Eventually, what the enzyme actually does is it doesn't break down the lactose, it lowers the amount of energy that's needed by binding to the lactose. It binds to a specific site called the active site. And the enzyme is the blue, the substrate is the purple. They fit together like puzzle pieces. Okay, so no other enzyme, whether it's acetylcholinesterase, is going to be able to bind to the lactose. Lactase is the only one that's going to bind to lactose because they are specific. Another cool thing about enzymes is that they can be used over and over again because they're not used up in a reaction. So that same lactase can bind to many, many different molecules of lactose. It'll bind to it, lower the activation energy, lactose is broken down, it releases, attaches to another lactose, so it can be used over and over again. So you don't actually need a lot of one kind of enzyme because they can be reused. We talked in Chapter 1 about homeostasis and your ability to maintain that constant internal environment, whether it's, your body's temperature needs to be 98.6, or your pH needs to be constant. And a big reason for that is because if your body isn't at those normal ranges, enzymes will not work. Factors that can affect enzyme activity include both temperature and pH. Your body temperature gets too high or too low, your pH gets too high, too low. The enzymes become what is referred to as being denatured. And so they're unable to perform their job basically. So you're going to need more energy for these processes to occur. You're not going to have enough energy. Your body's going to start to shut down. And so that's kind of where homeostasis and enzymes come in. Enzymes that are active at any one time in a cell determine what's happening in that cell. Okay, so different kinds of cells are going to contain different kinds of enzymes. So chances are the ones in your digestive tract are going to contain the lactase, because that's where your lactose is coming from the dairy products that you consume. Acetylcholinesterase helps to inhibit acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter that allows for muscles to contract. Okay, so that enzyme, the acetylcholinesterase, is going to probably be more prevalent in your muscle cells than in your stomach.